Hello everybody and welcome to the channel Out of Ammo, Out of Time. I'm your host Krabby Terror 8 and here we are in the next episode of the Investigator games, here with Jim Culver. I think episode 9, I hope I've got that right. Yes, and Jim is stepping up to the plate today to play the Midnight Masks. So yeah, very excited to see how Jim goes in the Midnight Masks. He certainly had a rough time of it in the Gathering, and spoilers for those of you who don't know what the Investigator games are and you're new to the channel, and if you are, thank you very much for watching. It's a bit like the Hunger Games. It's a true solo play. So what we do with Arkham Horror the card game, and I do this for Eldritch Horror and Elder Signs as well, is I take each investigator through the scenario true solo, and depending on how they do, they end up in a league table, a little bit like this one. This one here is an aggregate of the performance of the investigators in the Gathering and Midnight Masks. Now all of the investigators have gone through the Gathering, and if you want to see how they did, I recommend you have a look at that. They're all put together in a sub channel stream. You can watch them all, yes, and so by the end of this campaign, Devourer Below, we all know who the winning investigator is, who's showered in glory, and the investigator who has done the worst. And then we can start all over again with, I guess, Dunwich Legacy. But that's a long, long way off at the moment. So, yes, so Jim did manage to defeat the Ghoul Priest. Yeah, I had a chat to him in the trailer. So it's 4 a.m. here in Arkham. You can see here, we're just outside the house. We've got the trailer. We're just watching some CNN and just chilling out in the trailer, which is the green room, before starting off. The Arkham Council has very kindly allow us to use the town, but we have to do it around in the early hours of the morning before the traffic hits. And so that's where we are. Thank you again for Miskatonic Trailer Hire. Always, it's very nice of you to provide us with the trailer facility. So I had a chat to Jim. Yeah, he was a little bit unhappy with his performance in the Gathering. He didn't manage to defeat the Ghoul Priest. He ended up with a physical trauma in the process. So he's hoping to do a lot better. He's got Leader Chandler with him this time. That should help. And so he's certainly hoping to do a lot better this time. Have to say as well though, we had a party after the Gathering, but before Midnight Masks, and everyone had a good time. And Jim really did enjoy himself, and certainly the crowd enjoyed his karaoke performance, which included a trumpet break in the middle of autumn in New York, which was pretty fantastic jazz standard. So thank you for that, Jim. Now, if we have a look at his changes that we've made to his deck. Now, first thing I should say, and I didn't say this before, is we always start these campaigns with the official Fantasy Flight game starter decks, and Jim's. So we kind of start with what they provide, and some are better than others. I think that's putting it kindly. So we started with that, and for example, Jim only had one Shriveling in his deck for the Gathering. So with all of the Mystics, if the Shriveling doesn't turn up, it can be a bit difficult to actually complete. Well, so we've made some changes. He got 4 experience points, so we made some changes as a consequence. And what we did with his 4 experience points was we basically added in an extra Shriveling. We put in 2 enchanted blades, so we gave him more ways to fight. We added in a sixth sense as well for clue getting, because in the Midnight Mass getting clues is quite critical. Basically, we took out the cookery, we took out clarity of mind, we took out arcane studies, and we took out forbidden knowledge. So that's essentially what we did. We swapped some things out, we put some things in. Now, you may have some views about what we changed, what we could have put in, but that felt like the best way to improve his deck, basically making it a bit more aggressive, and at the same time also adding in additional abilities to find clues, because now we've got Rite of Seeking, Sixth Sense, and 2 flashlights. So I feel like that's a, we could have put in 2 luckies, I guess, or 2 look what I found, things like that. But it felt like he was weakest in the ability to kill things, and as you know, we need a way to do that, because we not only have we got the Ghoul Priest who might turn up, but we've got the good old Masked Hunter as well. So there we go. That's what we've done with the deck. Deck is here. There's 34 cards in the deck because Leader Chandler is in there. Because we were defeated, we get Leader in the deck. So we're ready to roll here with our 1 physical trauma, 5 resources on the investigation phase. So if I just move up, here, I've already randomly assigned Downtown and Southside, so they've already been randomly assigned. We're here at the house because we didn't burn it down, and it's ready to roll as well. Up here is the sort of agenda doom area. We're on turn 1. I'll just shuffle up the encounter deck and shuffle up the cultist deck. Indeed, these are just the south side and the downtown that we didn't use, so they're just sitting there. So I think we're ready to roll here. I'll just to set the scene, I'll just read these out and then we can get going. Predator or prey. Lita seems convinced of a conspiracy within the city of Arkham. She believes that a secret cult serves the ghouls and that enliven the crypts beneath the city, and that several of the cult's prominent members are scattered throughout Arkham. As you begin searching for them, you can't shake the feeling that you too are being hunted. Resign. You don't want to risk taking too long, so you head to safety with the information you've gathered. Let's just resign. No, we're not going to do that. Okay. And uncovering the conspiracy. You have 1 night to find members of this cult and unveil their plan. It's only 1 plan, is it? Okay. The more members of the cult you can find and interrogate before midnight, the better. You can take an action to spend 2 clues per investigator as a group to draw the top card of the cultist deck. Find as many unique cultist enemies as you can and add them to the victory display. If there are 6 unique cultist enemies in the victory display, advance. Note, not all 6 of them are in the cultist deck. Just on that point, spoilers, if you've not played Midnight Mass before, please play it first before watching this. I'm assuming you've played this before. Alright, so yes, here we are, and I think we're ready to go. Okay, so yes, we are ready to go in the first investigation phase. What do we want? What do we want? What do we want? Well, for Jim, it's pretty obvious what we want. Shriveling. We want shriveling. That's really important. It would be good to get an ally as well, and it would be good to get a weapon. So if we get shriveling ally weapon, that would be great. And then on top of that, some kind of additional clue-getting ability would be good. Sorry, the other thing I didn't just highlight about Jim, which most of you know, but just for those who may not be so familiar with him, and to be honest, I play so many of these, I forget myself. Treat the modifier on skulls as a 0. And anytime you reveal an Elder Sign token, you may choose to instead treat it as a skull token. So basically, skulls for Jim are 0s, which, if I just go back up here, we can see that that basically doesn't matter how much doom there is on a cultist enemy, it's at 0. So that really improves the deck for Jim. Okay, so let's draw our hand of 5 and see what we get. Well, we can't have paranoia, so we will draw another card for that. And this is pretty good actually. Wow, this is pretty good. So we've got shriveling, we've got Sixth Sense, we've got a guts, we've got a flashlight, and we've got a holy rosary. So that's pretty good. The only thing that's missing from all of this is some kind of weapon, the enchanted blade or the knife. But to be honest, I don't really want to lose any of these because I think they're all great cards, all work well together. So to be honest, I'm inclined to keep them as they are. So that's a pretty good draw to start with. The only things that it would be nice to get is a weapon and an ally, but apart from that, it's all pretty good. So okay, fantastic. So here we are in the first investigation phase with 3 actions. So what are we going to do first? Well, yes. Ooh, what a choice here. Well, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to spend 3. And I'm going to bring out shriveling, of course. Why wouldn't I? Charges didn't come out on it. So it gets 4 charges. Usually it actually does that, but didn't do that for the shriveling too. So we're set up with our shriveling. That's our first action. Now for my second action, I'm actually going to use the house ability here, where we can draw a card and gain a resource. So I'm going to gain a resource and I'm going to draw a card. And we get Jim's trumpet. Wow. Okay, Jim's trumpet. So this one really works well because when we reveal a skull token, we can exhaust Jim's trumpet and heal a horror. So, I mean, this can work really well in multiplayer as well, but that's a nice... The only problem with Jim's trumpet, of course, is that it takes up a hand slot, which means we're not, if we can't have a weapon and a flashlight and Jim's trumpet all at the same time. I mean, at the moment, horror is not an issue, so I don't need it at the moment, but it may be handy a little bit later. So there we go, Jim's trumpet. Nice draw. So that was my second action. Sometimes my computer just stutters a bit. Okay, and then for the third action, I'm going to spend 3 resources, and I'm going to bring out Sixth Sense. There we go. Because that means we're really set for investigating. Actually, probably don't need the flashlight if we've got Sixth Sense, because if we can bring out the Holy Rosary as well, we're really... And then we probably can bring out Jim's trumpet with some kind of weapon, so that's actually good. But I wanted to get Sixth Sense onto the board so that we can investigate much more efficiently. So next time, we won't have Holy Rosary yet, but next time we'll look to get the clue from here, move to Rivertown and get the second clue and get the first cultist out. But this was really just sort of establishing ourselves with some important cards onto the table, as we usually do in the first instance. Okie dokie, fantastic. All right, well, let's move into the enemy phase, and of course there are no enemies to speak of, so we move into the upkeep phase. Let's flip these back over. We'll take a resource, and we will draw a card, and we draw into the Arcane Initiate, which is an awesome card. I mean, we've already got some spells anyway, but this can be an awesome card. But we don't want to play it yet because you've got to put a doom on her. We can't afford to be adding extra doom, so we will be putting her down a little bit later. So that's something for later. But nice card. Okay, so that's the end of the upkeep phase. So we move into the good old Mythos phase. This is where everything goes pear-shaped. Let's pop up to here. So we're now in turn 2. First doom. Let's see. I'll just shuffle it up again. Let's see what the good old encounter deck has for us. Oh, these have changed. It's now Guardian. Okay. That's a bit strange. No, not neutral. We don't want neutral. Must be 5. Yeah. Wow. Okay. All right, let's see what the encounter... it must have been highlighted and shuffled. Okay, let's see what the encounter deck has for us. And, of course, we start with something... Wizard of the Order. Bloody hell. Okay, well, we can't afford to have this guy hanging around much, so I'm going to put him in Rivertown. And... he gets a doom on him, so we need to deal with him quick smart, because he just starts accruing doom if we don't. 4 fight, 2 health, 2 evade. Man, I hate that Wizard of the Order, because you don't get anything for him. He's like the in the Gathering, the Flesh Eater, not the Flesh Eater. There's another one, Ravenous Ghoul. He's like the Ravenous Ghoul of the Gathering. He's, reasonably tough, but you don't get anything for him. So that's a pain. That's a painful start. Well. All right, Jim, never mind. Okay, so we'll move into the investigation phase. We've got 3 actions. 1 resource, 6 cents on the board, and shriveling on the board. So, yes. Okay. So, the first thing we're going to do is investigate. We are going to investigate using 6th sense. So, we use willpower instead of intellect. And if we pull a symbol, you may choose a reveal location, connect to the location. Well, we can't do that because there's no other reveal locations. So, it's a 4 versus a 2. Is it? 4 versus 2. So 4 versus a 2. 4 versus a 2. -2 or better. Chaos Bag gives us a -1. Very nice. So that means we get the clue. Hooray. Fantastic. That's the first clue down on the table. Okay, so our second action, it would be good. I'd rather have some kind of weapon rather than using my shriveling, to be honest. So the question is, do we try and draw into a weapon? At the moment we're running on 1 doom, so we can probably, except it's going to waste time. So either we use our shriveling, and it might be our last shriveling that we get to fight the wizard. We could fight... No, we can't fight the Wizard of Order without it. So we can do that. The other thing is we really need the Holy Rosary on the board if we're going to really fight. So actually, to be honest, I really do want to draw into a weapon. Or at the very least, bring out the Holy Rosary before I attack this Wizard of the Order. So for my second action, I think I can do this every turn. Yeah, I'm going to take another resource and draw a card. Look at that, Enchanted Blade, perfect. There's only one problem. we don't have enough money to bring out the Enchanted Blade. Yes. I'm just thinking though, the Wizard of the Order is, what's its fight? Fight of 4. We're a fight of 3, so the Enchanted Blade would give us a fight of 4 as well. So we're still not really in a great position because that's still only 4 versus 4. So it's actually not super helpful, to be honest. So actually, we do need to bring it out onto the table because there'll be those pesky acolytes. But right now, for my third action, I'm going to spend 2 and I'm going to bring out the Holy Rosary. So that means that we are now a willpower of 5. And we've got guts here, so we can actually shrivel effectively and efficiently, and that's going to be what we need to do. Okay, so that was another kind of, well, it was kind of good and not good, but basically what we did was we investigated and got the clue off the house. We then drew another card and a resource and drew into the enchanted blade. And then we spent 2 of our resources to bring out the Holy Rosary, which means now our willpower is 5, which means we are now well placed to go ahead and fight with the Shriveling. But we are going to need the Arcane Initiative because we need to find that other Shriveling at some stage, because this only has 4 charges on it. Okay, so that's the end of our investigation phase. We move into the enemy phase. Now, of course, the Wizard of the Order doesn't do anything, just sits there, just gathering doom. So we move into the upkeep phase. So we'll flip these over. We will take a resource and we will draw a card, and we draw into Fearless. Okay, cool. Not a bad little card to get. Again, not really for right now, but it's a good way of managing our doom in that way. Yeah. Okay, so we'll move into another Mythos phase. So we will pop back up to here. So we're on turn 3, 2 doom. Well, actually, technically 3 doom, soon to be 4 doom. And we'll see what the encounter deck has for us. The encounter deck has mysterious chanting. So place 2 doom on the nearest cultist enemy. Okay, well, we'll do that. So yeah, so there's now 3 doom. So we definitely need to kill this guy next time, because otherwise, yes, lots of doom. Okay. In a way, that's kind of good. Rather than having another cultist enemy on board, it's just all on the one guy. So there we go. And then it's the end of the Mythos phase, so I believe we add another one to him. So he's now got 4 doom on him, which means if we don't deal with him now, we will be flipping the agenda. So we will be dealing with him. Okay, so that's the end of the Mythos phase. So we move into the good old investigation phase. So I think our mind has been completely focused here. We are moving, and we move into Rivertown. Move into Rivertown. Flip Rivertown, 1 shroud, 1 clue location. And then we will move this lovely Wizard of the Order with his doom to our threat area once our computer decides to... I don't know why it does that. It just suddenly chokes every so often. Okay, so here he is. He's full fight. Okay, so we are going to shrivel the Wizard of the Order. So we're going to use one of our shrivelings. So fight using willpower, deals +1 damage. If we draw a skull, we take a horror. Okay. So we are a 5. We are a 5 willpower versus 4. We'll make that a... We'll use a guts and make that a 7 versus a 4. I think we'll see how we go with that. 7 versus 4. Chaos Bag, it gives us a... I think that's fine. That's that's a -2. Place a doom on the nearest cultist enemy. Well, we do that, but then he dies. Now we pulled that token, so we take a horror. All right, so the Wizard of the Order is dead. His doom, thankfully, has all disappeared. So that's a good start. There we go. All right. Okay, so we've got one final action, and I think it's pretty obvious what we're going to do with the final action. We are going to investigate. It's only a shroud of 1. So we will flip that and we will investigate using Sixth Sense. So that is a willpower of 5. 5 versus 1. Chaos Bag gives us a -1, so we succeed. I'm a bit croaky this morning. I do apologise. Okay, so we've got our 2 clues. That's fantastic. Great. So next time we can bring out the cultist, and we can deal with whatever that cultist brings to us. So that was a pretty good. That was a pretty good round. We moved to Rivertown. We killed the cultist, the Wizard of the Order, which was just as well because he had a ton of doom on him. And then we found the second clue. All good. Everything's going pretty well. So we move into the enemy phase. There are no enemies to speak of. So we move into upkeep. Let's flip these over. Take another resource. Draw a card. And we get Scrying. Nice card. Except we've got both of our slots used up, so unfortunately Scrying might be used for investigating. Unfortunately, never mind. Okay, so let's move into the Mythos phase. So let's pop up here. We're in turn 4, 3 doom. We're halfway through, no cultists yet, so things have been a little bit on the slow side so far, but never mind. So let's see what the encounter deck has for us. And the lovely encounter deck has a Crypt Chill. A Crypt Chill. Okay. So test 4. Well, we're a 5. We're a 5. 5 versus 4. Let's throw in a Fearless. Makes it a 6 versus 4. I don't want to throw in anything else, so let's go with that. 6 versus 4. Chaos Bag gives us a -4. Ouch. Youch, ouch, youch. Okay, something's got to go. Got to get rid of an asset. Is Sixth Sense an asset? No. No. Well, there is only one asset. Oh, hold on. Asset. Oh, they are all assets. What am I talking about? Asset you control. So we can get rid of Sixth Sense. We can get rid of Shriveling. Or we can get rid of the Holy Rosary. Oh, that's tough. Oh boy, that's a pain. Ooh, that's a pain. I suppose if we get, we've only got 1 Sixth Sense. It's really good for getting clues, and we need clues. And we're not getting rid of Shriveling, so I'm afraid it kills me to do this, but the Holy Rosary is going to have to go. It's a real pain. Anyway, too bad. Too bad, too sad. It's got to go. That was real pain that we got a -4 there. But anyway, that's the way that it goes. Okay, let's move into the investigation phase. Yes. So what are we going to do? I think, well, we don't have any allies. So what I'm going to do, whoops. No. What am I doing? First thing I'm going to do is spend 2 clues. We're going to spend 2 clues. We're going to find out which lovely cultist we get. So we will shuffle them up. And the first cultist we get, drum roll, is Peter Warren. He comes out a lot first, doesn't he? He likes to come out first. Peter Warren, we can spend 2 clues to parley with him. And he is here at Miskatonic University. Cool. Okay, fantastic. All right, that's good. Second action, I'm actually going to move to South Side, first of all. And 1 clue, 3 shroud. And which one did we get? We got the historic. We don't get Mars Boarding House. And it is random, but we still keep getting the Hysterical Society. All right. And we can, that was our second action. For our third action, I'm going to use the draw 3 cards, and I'm going to draw 3 cards. Aha, we get drowned to the flame. Excellent. Emergency cash and unexpected courage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Very nice. Okay, so that's good, because drawn to the flame is going to help. So what we're going to do next time is get this clue at St Mary's Hospital and get our asses up to Peter Warren, and hopefully we can deal with him before the Mars Hunter turns up. that's the plan. We're going to need Jim's trumpet, and we're going to need unexpected courage for the willpower boosts, I guess. And in the meantime, the arcane initiate, not yet, but we will be thinking about bringing the arcane initiate out, which will then hopefully give us more shriveling. Okay, so that's the end of. So that was kind of. I mean, that was fine as a go. Fortunately, we had to get rid of the Holy Rosary, but we brought out the first cultist, Peter Warren. We then moved to Southside, which was Mars Boarding House. So we availed ourselves, Mars Boarding House, the Historical Society, and we availed ourselves of that and drew 3 cards. And got ourselves a good old Drawn to the Flame, which is always nice to see and very, very handy. So that's the end of the investigation phase. So we move into enemy phase. Well, Peter Warren ain't going to do anything. He's just going to be there in his laboratory. So we move into the upkeep phase. We flip these cards. We take a resource. We draw a card. And we draw into... I thought this might turn up. Final Rhapsody. Reveal 5 Chaos tokens from the Chaos bag for each skull and tentacle revealed, take 1 damage and 1 horror. 5 tokens. 1. Well, that's a skull. 2. Whoa. Sorry. Whoa. That should have stacked. I clicked the wrong button. So I better take that out of the Chaos bag. Sorry. So I'll just take that out of the Chaos bag. Just... sorry, I pressed the wrong thing. So we got 1 skull. Then we got a -2. That's the second. It's 5, isn't it? Yeah. Third is a -1. Fourth is -1. And fifth is another. So we got 2 skulls in all of that. Oh, put these back. So that was 2 skulls. Ouch. Ouch. So, 5 chaos tokens for each one of those. So 2 damage and 2 horror. 1, 2, 1, 2. Ouch. Wow, that was rough. That was rough. Yes. That was nasty. All right. Okay, let's move into the mythos phase. And let's go up to the... here we go. Turn 5. 4 actions. 4 doom. I'm sorry. Hello? Yep, 4 doom. All right, let's see what the encounter deck has for us. And it has mysterious chanting. Place 2 doom on the nearest cultist enemy, which I'm pretty sure is Peter. He's a cultist. Yep, so we put 2 doom on him. 1, 2. Now, it's at 4, which means it's going to flip next time unless we deal with him, which is, that's really painful. That is very painful, actually. Oof, okay. So here we are. We've got 3 actions. Now, we've now lost the luxury of spending time getting clues because of Peter Warren. So there's a couple of things we could do. One thing would be to move to Miskatonic University, play Drawn to the Flame, and take a damage from Peter. Deal with the whatever the Drawn to the Flame is, and then we would do that. Otherwise, we're going to have to move to Miskatonic University and use 2 of our shrivelings to deal with him. No, 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 no. Or no, that's not going to work. I was going to say we could bring out the enchanted blade. That would be one action. But then we would move, and then we would only have one action, and we would only do him 2 points of damage, and he's a 3-pointer. I don't want to use up my shriveling because the masked hunter's going to pop up. So I think, and we don't really have time to mess around getting clues. So I think I'm going to have to do it. I'm going to have to move to Miskatonic University. And the thing I should point out is this is the investigator games. So what's more important than winning the scenario in the classic sense is getting victory points, because where you end up on the league table is how many victory points you have. So I've just realized that this is an opportunity for Jim to get 2 victory points for the cost of taking a damage. That's not a bad exchange, I don't think. So we moved to Miskatonic University. And actually, after Miskatonic, we can go to St. Mary's Hospital and we can heal ourselves. I just remembered. So let's do that. So we moved to Miskatonic University. That was our first action. So now Peter is engaged with us. What's our first action? Our second action is we're going to play Drawn to the Flame. So we take a damage. Draw the top card of the encounter deck. Oh. Oh boy. Wow, of all the cards to get. Wings of Darkness. Test 4. If you fail, take 1 damage, 1 horror, disengage, and move to a central location. So that was our second action. Yeah, okay. We are at 2. I'm going to put in the Unexpected Courage to give us 4, because the skulls, of course, are 0. So we have more of a chance than most of making this happen. Apart from that, I could throw in Jim's trumpet, but I just don't feel it's worth it. So let's see how we go. And we draw a -3, so we fail. So we take another horror and another damage. We disengage from Peter Warren. Poor old Jim, things are not going well at all. He's back here at Miskatonic University. We move back to Rivertown. And the thing is, I just realized, is because of all that doom, this is going to flip, which means the Masked Hunter will be on us. So we can't really afford. Oh boy. Okay, so actually, I just checked on Arkham DB. And actually, I don't get any clues. The way that it works is, according to Arkham DB, and I just had a look at it, is you play Drawn to the Flame. You resolve any revelation effects, and the revelation effect, of course, was that we moved. That was the effect of this card. And then once you're in your new location, you then get your 2 clues at that location. There are no clues at that location, so we get no clues. Oh, so it's even worse than I thought. Okay, so not only did we no longer can get Peter Warren, but we don't get those clues. So that was a wasted. Drawn to the Flame. That is really bad. Oh dear. Okay, for our final action then, I'm going to bring out the Arcane Initiate, because I might as well. And I will immediately... Oh, what's the... of course, she gets a Doom on her. And I immediately exhaust her and look at the top 3 cards of the. So I'll look at the top 3 cards. Ah, yes, and there we go. So we get, wow, that was actually good, because we avoided a paranoia there, and we got the shriveling. So that's something. Wow. Okay. Oh, all right. So what a round. Okay, so this round, all sorts of horrible things happened. Basically, we moved up to Miskatonic University. We engaged with Peter Warren. We did Drawn to the Flame to get 2 clues, and we needed to deal with him because of the doom on him. Unfortunately, we drew Wings of Darkness, which meant we got shifted back to Rivertown. We didn't get the clues, and we couldn't get back to deal with Peter Warren. Finally, we used Arcane Initiate to draw ourselves into another shriveling. So that's a positive, at least. But we need to now get to the hospital, because we are getting very low on our health, particularly. If we bring out Jim's trumpet, although I think we might need Jim's trumpet, to be honest, but if we did bring out Jim's trumpet, that could heal us some horror as well. But anyway, that's the end of the investigation phase. We move into the enemy phase. No enemies to speak of, so we move into upkeep. Flip, resource, and card. And we draw into a guts. Very nice. That's a great card to get. Phew. Okay. I can't remember. With the last guts, did I draw a card? I can't remember if I did, but if I didn't, it's way too late now to do it. Okay, so we move into the Mythos phase, and indeed, we're in turn 6 now. There is 4, 5, 6. There's 6 doom down on the table. So, indeed, everything flips. Yeah. So in turn 6, the Masked Hunter arrives. Hello. Oh, you're a bit worse for wear. I'm going to kill you. So here we are. The Masked Hunter's with us. 4 fight, 6 health, 2 evade, and we can't discover or spend clues while we're there. And I should have. Arcane Initiate should be back up. After the upkeep phase, I forgot to do that. Oh, and that doom goes as well, of course. Right. Okay, so there we go. All right. And now we will draw from the encounter deck. And the... Oh my goodness. He doesn't spawn with us though. He spawns at the he spawns at the house. I thought for a second there he was going to spawn at us, but he doesn't. But he's only one away, but he does spawn at the house, the Ghoul Priest. Okay. Alright. Oh my goodness. Things are looking super bad. Super duper bad. Okay. Let's move into the investigation phase. There are 3 actions. First thing we're going to do is we are going to, again, exhaust Arcane Initiate. Look at the top 3 cards. What do we get? Ritual Candle, is that a spell? No, it's an item. Nope. Okay. So we don't get a spell. That's all right. Okay. Okay. All right, we've got 3 actions. Now, we could either... so, the problem is the Ghoul Priest. The problem is the Ghoul Priest is going to move and hit us for 2 and 2, and that's not good. So we need to... evade the Masked Hunter, but we're a 2 versus a 2. I think we've got 2 choices here, because we could kill the Masked Hunter. What's the Ghoul Priest's evasion? He's really hard to evade. We can't be here. We can't be here. We're gonna have to do some running, because if we don't, we're going to be dead. We've got to get to St. Mary's Hospital, and we've got to get ourselves heal ourselves up. And whilst I would like to hang around and shrivel the so what we could do is we could spend 1 go shriveling the Masked Hunter. No, but the evasion, we need to try and evade him. So, and we're a 2 versus a 2. So, this puts us in a really, really difficult situation, because we kind of have 2 choices here. See, the problem is we could stay and we could possibly kill the Masked Hunter. But if we kill the Masked Hunter, we will be here, and the Ghoul Priest will then move and will attack us, and then our ability to evade the Ghoul Priest is we can't evade the Ghoul Priest, and we can't kill the Ghoul Priest either. So we are in all kinds of trouble. So I think what we've got to do is we've got to try and evade the Masked Hunter, and hopefully we can draw a 0 or a skull, because we can use our skull obviously as a 0. So we have a reasonable chance of doing it, because otherwise I can't see. Because otherwise we'll die basically. And then we can get ourselves to Southside. We can get ourselves to St. Mary's Hospital, because we will, or we get ourselves to Southside and maybe get the clue. Then we can get ourselves to St. Mary's Hospital. We can move that way. Oh, this has just been a terrible, terrible time for poor old Jim. Really bad. Okay, so let's do the evasion. I can't see what else we can do, and we don't have any skill. Well, we do have 1 skill card, Jim's trumpet, which I don't want to have to use for this. But if we have to, we have to. So we've really got 3 actions to try and evade the Ghoul Priest, the Masked Hunter. Sorry. I don't. It's not really, because we can. He's a 6, so if we successfully fight him 3 times, we'll kill him. But then the Ghoul Priest will do his damage, and then we've got to try and evade the Ghoul Priest, which is a 4 versus 2, which is we don't. Maybe we could draw into Blinding Light. Maybe. I mean, the other way is we could try and draw into Blinding Light. I guess we could just draw cards, but the odds are low, that much worse, 1 in 18. So our chances of drawing at 0 with the Masked Hunter is our most likely thing. So that's what we're going to do. So our first action, we're going to evade the Masked Hunter, and we get a 0. Woo! So we succeed. So the Masked Hunter is evaded.
Where's he gone? Where's that guy gone with the trumpet? Where's he gone? I want to kill him.
Okay, so we evaded the Mars Hunter. Whew. Then we will move to south side. And for our third action, now I could just move straight to St. Mary's Hospital, but I feel like we should try and get this clue because we're not in any immediate danger now. So let's get this clue. So that's yeah, that's a shroud of 3. And we are a 4. Or do we make it a 6? Yeah, I think we do. So, or do we? Do we need the guts? Well, we're only gonna have one chance at getting this clue, and we really want to get Peter Warren, so we're only gonna get one chance. I don't think we're going to be able to kill either of these guys. So I think what we're better off doing is using it, getting the clues, getting Peter Warren, that kind of thing. I think that's a more likely strategy. I just don't think, because next time the Ghoul Priest and the Mars Hunter will be in the same place, so our chances of engaging them both is really unlikely. So I'm going to use the guts. So that gives us a 6 versus a 3. A 6 versus a 3. Chaos Bag gives us a 3. So we succeed. So we get to draw a card. And we draw a lucky at last. Lucky. Okay. So we get that clue. Alright. So we got a clue. Great. Okay. So we can move to St. Mary's Hospital next time. Heal ourselves up and get that second clue, then we can be ready to get Peter Warren the next time. So that's something. Alright, so we got the clue. Alright, so there we go. We managed to evade the Mars Hunter, and avoid the Mars Hunter. We then moved to Southside, and we got ourselves the clue, and in the process drew ourselves a very handy lucky. Some luck there. Okay, so we move into the enemy phase, and indeed things have really... So the Ghoul Priest is here.
What are you doing? He's gone, you idiot! He's not here anymore! Get up! Okay, can I have your jacket? It's really nice.
There we go. So the Ghoul Priest is with the Mars Hunter. The dynamic duo are now going to come after me, after Jim. So there we go. So we move into the upkeep phase. So there we go. What a pair. Wow. Okay. The Arcane Initiate is back up. Is there anything I could do for you? Yeah. Can I get you another spell? Maybe a cup of tea or something else? Maybe an elder sign or 2. What would you like me to do for you, Jim? Am I helping? Well, I've got you shriveling, didn't I? Right. So we're in the upkeep phase. Flip. Resource. Draw a card. I get another enchanted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. With 2 enchanted blades now. Feels like I should be putting enchanted blade out on the table. But anyway. Okay. So that's the end of the upkeep phase. So we move into the Mythos phase. Let's shift up here. So we're in turn 7. It feels like an age since we were last up here. 1 action. 1 doom, I'm sorry, on the second agenda. Turn 7. So let's see what the encounter deck has for us. And the encounter deck has Hunting Shadow. Oh no. You must either spend a clue or take 2 damage. Oh, you are kidding me. We're going to have to spend the clue. I can't take the 2 damage. Alright. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Just can't get a break here. Alright, we move into the investigation phase. Jim obviously is going to move to St. Mary's Hospital. It's 2 shroud, 1 clue location. We're going to... Okay, that's our first action. Our second action is to heal 3 damage. Thank goodness. Sorry, we should have done this as well. We'll have a look at the top 3 cards. And there is a spell. Leader Chandler would be nice right now, actually. So we got Blinding Light. So that's good, actually. We'll definitely use that. Okay, and then for our third action, we will investigate, which is a shroud of 2. So we'll investigate with Sixth Sense. So we are a 4. I think we just straight up do that. 4 versus 2. Chaos Bag gives us a 0, so we succeed and we get that clue. Unfortunately, we lost the other clue, but we've got that clue. Okay. All right, so next time... they're going to be here. So what we might do is we're going to move. Wow, we don't have 2 clues, do we? Oh dear. We're going to have to move, evade Peter Warren, and move again up to Northside, I think. Because there's not going to be enough time for us to get clues and get some clues from Northside instead. Because we're going to have the resources to get them. That's what we're going to have to do next time. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We've got 9 cards as well. So we're going to have to throw something out. But anyway, that's what we're going to do. Alright, so in the enemy phase, Dynamic Duo move to Southside. Yeah, we'll just leave them together. So they've moved to Southside, coming after us. Alright, so we move into the upkeep phase. Flip these, get another resource, draw a card, and we're going to have to throw something out now. Well, we don't need emergency cash for a start. I think we're fine there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We've got 9 cards. What are we going to throw out? Well, we're not going to use scrying either. But we're going to use 2 enchanted blades, or we might fight something, so I'll probably get rid of scrying. Okay. Arcane Initiate's back up. So we move into Mythos phase, turn 8, second Doom. Time is running short and we're not doing much. Let's see what the encounter deck has for us, and it has False Lead. If you have no clues, false lead. If you have 1 or more clues, test 4. And just throw out scrying. For each point you fell by, place 1 of your clues on your location. Oh boy. Okay, so we are a 3. We can make that a 4. So that's 4 versus 4. Does it actually matter? We can't use 1 clue anyway. We'll just leave it at that. 4 versus 4. Chaos Bag gives us a 0, so we fine. Whew. Okay. There we go. Bit of luck there. Alright, so we move into the investigation phase. We've got 3 actions. We've got to get out of here. So we're going to move up to Miskatonic University, which means Peter Warren is back on us again. Sorry. I'm going to Arcane Initiate. Should have done this. 3. Nope. I don't even know if there's any more spells in our... I'm pretty sure there is, I think. We're then going to use Blinding Light to evade Peter Warren, which means we use Willpower. He's a 3 and we are a 4. 3 versus 4, so it's a -1 or better. We've got a lucky here, so I'm going to just do that. Let's see how we go. We get a -2, so we will play our lucky. But it's a -2. Oh no, because that means... hold on. So we got a -2. Lose 1 action this turn. Oh no. Let's just deal with this one. So that was, hold on, what did we do? Oh no. I think this is the end now. Because we moved. We then evaded. We got a -2, which means we place a doom on the cultist enemy. That happens anyway. So we put a doom on Peter Warren. And then we just spend 1 to use lucky. So we succeed. So we evade Peter Warren. But the problem was we got a cultist token, which means that if we get a cultist token, which means we lose an action. That is bad because that's bad. So that's the end of our go at Miskatonic University. Oh, and we put a damage on Peter as well. Yeah, he takes damage. There we go. Yes, and therefore we move into the enemy phase, and both the Ghoul Priest and the Mass Hunter. If I can get them both to... Can I group them? Yeah. What? Okay. They're both attackers for 4 and 3. Four and 3. Actually, let's make that 3 and 2 and 1, and the Arcane Initiate dies. Okay, so that's the enemy phase. So we move into the upkeep phase. We will flip these. We will take a resource. We will draw a card. Look what I found. Yeah, look what I found. Okay. Oh, and then the upkeep phase, Peter Warren also readies. Oh boy. Look at this. Oh boy. Okay. Yep. Alright, so we'll move into the Mythos phase. Turn 9, 3 Doom. Encounter deck gives us Locked Door, which goes on the place with the most clues, which I think is Miskatonic University, if I'm not mistaken. It is. So we'll put this under Miskatonic University because we won't be getting those clues anytime soon. Okay, so here we go. So we are here in the investigation phase. We've got 3 actions. Okay, the only way this can work, just looking at this, the only way this can possibly work is if we evade the Masked Hunter, first of all. Then once we've evaded the Masked Hunter, we can shrivel the Ghoul Priest in 2 actions. So if we manage all of that, then we just take 1 hit from Peter Warren. Happy days. If any of those things fail, we're dead. So here we go. So first of all, we will look to evade the Ghoul Priest. We can't. We could throw in Jim's trumpet. We could. Yeah, I think we. So we are a 2 versus a 2. I'm going to make maximize our chances with an unexpected courage. That's a 4 versus a 2 to evade the Masked Hunter, and we fail. Let's try it again. We will try to evade the Masked Hunter again. What's that? -3. If you fail, place 1 of your clues on your location. Yes, we place a clue on the location. Finally, we will try and evade the Masked Hunter again. And we succeed. So the Masked Hunter is evaded. Let's just leave him here. Whoops. So he's evaded. So that's the end of our turn. So we move into the enemy phase. So we take 2 damage from the Ghoul Priest and 2 horror from the Ghoul Priest, and we are dead. We take another physical trauma. We take our second. Actually, we could make it a mental. No, because we don't. No. So yes, we take another physical trauma. So Jim goes down. My goodness, ladies and gentlemen, that was a really brutal scenario. Things really went very, very badly for Jim. I think that's probably the worst that anything's gone. He didn't manage to get any victory points at all. He just was stymied from the start. Things just did not go well. Things were going okay. And then our Peter Warren play got stymied. We ended up getting moved away. We lost our ability to get the clues. So that Drawn to the Flame, Wings of Darkness combo was just devastating. Which meant that the agenda flipped, which means we got the Masked Hunter, and we really... and then we drew the Ghoul Priest. So it was just one thing after another. Jim really had no chance at all. So he really, really has done really badly. So that's the way it goes in the investigator game. Sometimes things go horribly wrong. And it wasn't like we had the right cards. We certainly had the cards we could use. We just got some really, really rough plays. So there you go. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. That was really devastating for poor old Jim. Thank you very much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. So next time, I think it's Ashcan Pete's turn to step up to the mark. Let me just check. I think he's the last one in the Dunwich Legacy. Indeed, he is. So Ashcan Pete and Duke will be stepping up to the plate in the Midnight Masks. He was the fastest to finish the gathering in the first season of the Investigator game, so it'll be interesting to see how him and Duke go in this one. So yes, and until that time, I'm Krabby Terror 8. Thank you again for watching, and goodbye.